Hi everyone, welcome back to On the Edge with Jags. Today is going to be the very first official subject and topic for this channel. And after reviewing about a little bit over 60 different topics and subjects that were recommended for me to go ahead and prepare for this channel for all of you here. The first one that came to my attention that I think would be more beneficial to talk about, being the very first video, would be more along the lines of internet safety. One was actually brought up by a friend of mine online, and it is something I think as of right now it actually is really important to talk about based upon a lot of different controversies that have been going online right now. Different live streamers, content creators, a lot of people who are very heavily influenced or just engaging overall with social media. Obviously this will also include different websites and everything along the lines of that as well. But some of the different key topics I will be pointing out today as far as internet safety goes. I'm going to be breaking it down in a matter of what can I do to keep my child, or what can I do to keep myself safe online. So we're going through different points as far as point A, which is going to be online bullying and trolls. Point B, should parents monitor activity for their children? Point C, what to avoid, what to look out for, ask questions first. Point D, think before you post. Ask yourself, before doing anything at all, by posting this up, will I be ready for certain comments, heavy opinions, any form of hatred? Always ask yourself questions before you post up anything. Point E, stranger danger still applies. Just like in real life when parents are teaching their kids about stranger danger, even more so I believe personally in the online world. Point F, read and research. This is something I know that can be also really annoying, but we'll also be talking about please read the terms and agreements on any social media platform or anything you sign up for. I know it's very time consuming, but it will help you and your safety in the long run, I promise you. We'll get to more and further into detail about that as this video goes on. Point G, not everyone is out to get you. Not everyone is online to try to hack you, to steal your information, and to make you feel awful about yourself. Unfortunately, being on the internet, you do have to prepare yourself for things like that, but we'll also go into discussion either in this video or possibly in another video after this if we were going to go a little bit more into detail about these topics as well. Point H, do not share your information with anyone. Point I, do not give away too much information about yourself online, for example, location. Point J, how do I know if a website is safe? So these are all some of the different points we'll be talking about on today's video. Depending on time and everything, we may break these different points down into subcategories per video as well, so we can kind of go into a little bit more detail about it, so both you and I can talk about a little bit more in the detail, a little bit more immersively and interactively about these topics. What do we think about them? How do we feel about them? Do we agree? Do we disagree? What are some key points and components that I am personally missing that you strongly believe should be added on this list for everybody to look out for? Alright, so going on with point A to start off here, online bullying and trolls. These do go hand in hand as well. At the same time, this can be separated within a very fine gray line. Online bullying, as we all know, has been a serious and ongoing issue for a very long time. It is very unfortunate. A lot of people think they have the power or the opportunity to destroy and to add more destruction onto other people's lives because some form of, you know, a lack of self-respect for oneself is something I personally believe why this comes into play. A lot of other people get a kick and kind of an adrenaline rush out of making other lives feel miserable. It's usually more retroactive kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? More of they want a reaction out of you and they're doing it specifically for that reason. You know, it's not usually always for that reason, but based upon my own personal beliefs, I think online bullying goes on a little bit heavier in a sense than in person. In person, I've dealt with a lot of bullying in general. I'm sure, unfortunately, a lot of other people have in some way, shape, or form as well. And obviously, no one wants to experience it, and we shouldn't be seeing it. And hopefully, everyone's doing their best to try to go ahead and eradicate bullying in general. But online bullying, I think, kind of takes a different shape and form. It disguises itself as they think it's disguising itself more of a lesser evil. It's not as bad because I'm doing it online, and it's like, oh, it was just a joke, or whatever they may define it as. The issue with online bullying, it goes and breaks down into a lot of different portions, as well as when we type anything at all online, all forms of communication and talk overall is disrupted and is able to be interpreted by any means necessary. With this, it becomes a little bit more difficult because even as we know for texting one of our friends or family members, if you put the wrong emoji, for example, if you don't grammatically spell something out correctly, or if a comma's not in the right place, a lot of things can be interpreted very, very differently, and it can be very intrusive to other people. They may see it as a negative response rather than someone trying to aim for a positive outlook and response that they originally meant. Or maybe possibly it was vice versa. Maybe it was something negative and someone saw it as a positive and said thank you towards it. It's very complicated. But online bullying also has another form within it itself as well, where people, as I mentioned before, a lot of people feel like bullying online not only helps keep them safe because they want to bully people, but maybe they're too afraid to do it in person, which in that case, that doesn't make any sense. Just don't do it. It's not that hard. It takes less energy to be a better person and a good person and a kind-hearted person rather than this. There's no room for it. We all know that there's not. But they think they are, because they're hiding behind a computer screen, but they're also hiding behind their words. I know a lot of people say, like, words are very powerful and they can be very damaging. This is true. I'm not denying that. However, words are also the complete opposite at the same time. Words are just words without any form or any gear towards taking an action. Thankfully, no physical actions hopefully are being taken place, but, you know, online bullying, it's not only that someone is feeling attacked and the attacker is doing everything online for whatever reason they want to destroy another individual's self-esteem, self-confidence, try to prevent them from continuing what they may love to do online. This is something I personally have gone through myself growing up. Being 29 now, there's a lot life has taught me, and a lot for me to be able to cope with situations like this as well. You know, for a very good example, as of right now, I do a lot of online work for comedy purposes, for on here. Thankfully, I'm also doing more educational purposes for you guys as well. But being online in general, we have to remember that we have to expect the unexpected, and anything you think isn't possible is very much so possible online, and it is very difficult to think about that in general. But that is within itself another kind of point and subject within this matter here. But, you know, being online, I've received a lot of very negative comments. I've received a lot of personal messages saying very hurtful things to me personally that does bother me very, very much. So sometimes it really does take a very emotional and mental impact on one's psyche and in one's mental health state overall. And it's not something that is easy. It is not something that people can just go ahead and be like, you know what, I'm okay with this. It's easy to like ignore. Some people may be able to do that, which I am very jealous of. However, if you are more susceptible to something like this, and you know for a fact, like, you're more of a emotional individual, which is 100% okay. You are who you are, and that's perfectly fine. But you have to be ready for these kind of things, which is also difficult within itself, because it's once again going back to expect the unexpected. You don't know when this is going to happen. We pray that this doesn't happen, but unfortunately, people will do this. But do your best to avoid these people. If they are online, we have so many functions and so many abilities to remove that from our lives. We don't need the toxicity in our lives. So based upon this, we have block buttons on social media and live streaming. We have, and this goes for pretty much everything as well, but we have the block button, we have the ban button, we have the mute button, and we have a unfriend button. I've had to do these multiple times. I never thought I would actually have to use any of these growing up, but I realized the older I got, I shouldn't be worrying about these people who are trying to negatively impact my life, because I know who I am. I know how hard I have worked and struggled to get to where I need to be today. And by struggle, I don't mean like legitimately crawling my way to try to find like victory. Sometimes it may have felt like that, but it's part of everyday life. We have to work hard to succeed in some way, shape, or form that helps benefit ourselves based upon that level of success. Bullying is not an easy concept. It is very controversial at the same time. There's a lot of key factors that go within online bullying, but it is difficult for me alone as of right now at this very second to really go into full detail about it. But what I would like to say for anyone currently watching this video, that is you, please put in the comments below on, have you experienced online bullying? What have you done to help yourself get away and overcome this fear? Have you had to use those ban buttons, the block buttons, unfriend on social media? What have you needed to do to benefit yourself and to better your life to stay away from online bullying? But not only that, what have you done to teach other people as well on how to prevent these things from happening to them as well to better their lives? So once again, please put these comments below. I would love to hear what you have to say. The next thing that goes in with the online bullying is trolls. Like I said, these go hand in hand because trolls are known for online bullying. They are known to disrupt your mental state 100%. They are there to try to just overall ruin your fun, to ruin you as a person, because either they are jealous of you, they are just in a weird state of mind where they feel like by hurting you, it's going to benefit them in their own negative, selfish ways. They are just out there because they are there. In my opinion, I know this may sound a little bit harsh, but I use a term that a lot of us know as a waste of space. It is a very demeaning term. Do not use that for individuals at all. No one within reality is a waste of space, but trolls in general, for people, there's a difference between these. there's people out there who will troll people, but then they will eventually learn either immediately or later on in life about the consequences that come with bullying, that comes with trolls. They do face forms of karma. I know a lot of people don't believe in that, but I have seen it so many times, and it does strike back. When you're a good person doing good deeds, good karma comes. When you're a bad person doing bad deeds, well, you're gonna have to face the world's wrath and consequences. That's the nature of life, in my opinion, in a way, shape, and form. But dealing with trolls is pretty much doing the same thing. Ban them, mute them, remove them immediately, just as fast as anyone who would ever bully you. You know, I know I kind of mentioned this a little bit too, but same thing with, unfortunately, you know, once it comes to in real life bullying, you can't just press a button to make someone like go away, for them to stop like picking on you and to stop bullying you. I wish it was that easy. I really do. That would be fantastic. They just click a button and then immediately that person is just gone and you don't have to deal with their nonsense anymore. That would be fantastic. But that's not the reality of it. It is a little bit more difficult in a sense. It has its own way to be treated. But once again, that will be more set for another video as well, that we'll talk about that. But that's the kind of little concept I wanted to bring up more about online bullying or trolls. Once again, if you have anything else to add, please, down in the comments, please put your opinions on both of these things about online bullying and trolls. Do you know the similarities? What are some differences that I may have missed as well that separates these two?